small council, that she may help him rule wisely and with justice. So the king has decreed. The small council consents. Sansa heard a soft murmuring from the lords around her, but it was quickly stilled. Pycelle continued. It is also the wish of his grace that his loyal servant Janos Slynt, commander of the city watch of King's Landing, be at once raised to the rank of lord and granted the ancient seat of Harrenhal, with all its attendant lands and incomes, and that his sons and grandsons shall hold these honors after him until the end of time. It is moreover his command that Lord Slynt be seated immediately upon his small council to assist in the governance of the realm. So the king has decreed, the small council consents. Sansa glimpsed motion from the corner of her eye as Janos Slynt made his entrance. This time the muttering was louder and angrier. Proud lords whose houses went back thousands of years made way reluctantly for the balding, frog-faced commoner as he marched past. Golden scales had been sewn onto the black velvet of his doublet and rang together softly with each step. His cloak was checked black and gold satin. Two ugly boys who must have been his sons went before him, struggling with the weight of a heavy metal shield as tall as they were. For his sigil he had taken a bloody spear, gold on a night-black field. The sight of it raised goose prickles up and down Sansa's arms. As Lord Slynt took his place, Grand Maester Pycelle resumed. Lastly, in these times of treason and turmoil, with our beloved Robert so lately dead, it is the view of the council that the life and safety of King Joffrey is of paramount importance. He looked to the queen. Cersei stood. Sir Barristan Selmy, stand forth. Sir Barristan had been standing at the foot of the Iron Throne, as still as any statue, but now he went to one knee and bowed his head. Your Grace, I am yours to command. Rise, Sir Barristan, Cersei Lannister said. You may remove your helm. My lady. Standing, the old knight took off his high white helm, though he did not seem to understand why. You have served the realm long and faithfully, good sir, and every man and woman in the Seven Kingdoms owes you thanks. Yet now I fear your service is at an end. It is the wish of king and council that you lay down your heavy burden. My burden? I fear I do not. The new-made Lord Janos Slynt spoke up, his voice heavy and blunt. Her Grace is trying to tell you that you're relieved as Lord Commander of the Kingsguard. The tall, white-haired knight seemed to shrink as he stood there, scarcely breathing. Your Grace, he said at last, the Kingsguard is a sworn brotherhood. Our vows are taken for life. Only death may relieve the Lord Commander of his sacred trust. Whose death, Sir Barristan? The Queen's voice was soft as silk, but her words carried the whole length of the hall. Yours or the King's? You let my father die, Joffrey said accusingly from atop the Iron Throne. You're too old to protect anybody. Sansa watched as the knight peered up at his new king. She had never seen him look his years before, yet now he did. Your Grace, I was chosen for the White Swords in my 23rd year. It was all I had ever dreamed from the moment I took sword in hand. I gave up all claim to my ancestral keep. The girl I was to wed married my cousin in my place. I had no need of land or sons. My life would be lived for the realm. Sir Gerald Hightower himself heard my vows. To court the king was all my strength. To give my blood for his. I fought beside the White Bull and Prince Lewin of Dorne, beside Sir Arthur Dayne, the Sword of the Morning. Before I served your father, I helped shield King Aerys and his father, Jaehaerys, before him. 3 kings, and all of them dead, Littlefinger pointed out. Your time is done, Cersei Lannister announced. Joffrey requires men around him who are young and strong. The council has determined that Sir Jaime Lannister will take your place as the Lord Commander of Sworn Brothers of the White Swords. The Kingslayer, Sir Barristan said, his voice hard with contempt. The false knight who profaned his blade with blood of the king he had sworn to defend. I don't care for your words, sir, the queen warned. You are speaking of our beloved brother, your king's own blood. Lord Varys spoke, gentler than the others. We are not unmindful of your service, good sir. Lord Tywin Lannister has generously agreed to grant you a handsome tract of land north of Lannisport beside the sea, with gold and men sufficient to build you a stout keep and servants to see to your every need. Sir Barristan looked up sharply. A hall to buy in and then
The finest luxury fragrances are now exclusively available at your local store. Unstoppable's unlimited collection makes everything smell magnifique. Luxury laundry scent beads so you can smell unstoppable.
Washington University did a very good job preparing us for how excelled it would be, giving us the resources that we need, the help that we need. And my grades reflected that as well.
Oh, look, I'm bottomless. Just like bottomless apps for $9.99 at Buffalo Wild Wings. That's right, you can get bottomless mop sticks, fried pickles, and so much more for you and all your bottomless friends. Bottomless apps for $9.99 only at Vito's.
Rentals of stuff.
South facing, hard views, no beige.
No.
This is it.
Miranda, found your new apartment.
spit upon your pity. He reached up and undid the clasps that held his cloak in place, and the heavy white garment slithered from his shoulders to fall in a heap on the floor. His helmet dropped with a clang. I am a knight, he told them. He opened the silver fastenings of his breastplate and let that fall as well. I shall die as a knight. A naked knight, it would seem, quipped Littlefinger. They all laughed then, Joffrey on his throne, and the lords standing in attendance, Janos Slynt and Queen Cersei and Sandor Clegane, and even the other men of the King's Guard, the 5 who had been his brothers until a moment ago. Surely that must have hurt them most, Sansa thought. Her heart went out to the gallant old man as he stood shamed and red-faced, too angry to speak. Finally he drew his sword. Sansa heard someone gasp. Sir Boros and Sir Meryn moved forward to confront him, but Sir Barristan froze them in place with a look that dripped contempt. Have no fear, sirs, your king is safe. No thanks to you. Even now I could cut through the 5 of you as easy as a dagger cuts cheese. If you would serve under the Kingslayer, not a one of you is fit to wear the white. He flung his sword at the foot of the Iron Throne. Here, boy, melt it down and add it to the others if you like. It will do you no more good than the swords in the hand of these 5. Perhaps Lord Stannis will chance to sit on it when he takes your throne. He took the long way out, his steps ringing loud against the floor and echoing off the bare stone walls. Lords and ladies parted to let him pass. Not until the pages had closed the great oak and bronze doors behind him did Sansa hear sounds again. Soft voices, uneasy stirrings, the shuffle of papers from the council table. He called me boy, Joffrey said peevishly, sounding younger than his years. He talked about my uncle Stannis, too. Idle talk, said Varys the eunuch, without meaning. He could be making plots with my uncles. I want him seized and questioned. No one moved. Joffrey raised his voice. I said I want him seized. Janos Slynt rose from the council table. My gold cloaks will see to it you're brave. Good, said King Joffrey. Lord Janos strode from the hall, his ugly sons double-stepping to keep up as they lugged the great metal shield with the arms of House Slynt. Your Grace, Littlefinger reminded the king, if we might resume, the 7 are now 6. We find ourselves in need of a new sword for your King's Guard. Joffrey smiled. Tell them, mother. The king and council have determined that no man in the 7 kingdoms is more fit to guard and protect his grace than his own sworn shield, Sandor Clegane. How do you like that, Doc? The hound's scarred face was hard to read. He took a long moment to consider. Why not? I have no land or wife to me. Who care if I did? But I warn you, I'll say no knight's vows. The sworn brothers of the King's Guard have always been knights, Sir Boros said firmly. Until now, the hound said in his deep rasp, and Sir Boros fell silent. When the King's herald moved forward, Sansa realized the moment was almost at hand. She smoothed down the cloth of her skirt nervously. She was dressed in mourning as a sign of respect for the dead king, but she had taken special care to make herself beautiful. Her gown was the ivory silk that the queen had given her, the one Arya had ruined, but she'd had them dye it black, and you couldn't see the stain at all. She had fretted over her jewelry for hours and finally decided upon the elegant simplicity of a plain silver chain. The herald's voice boomed out. If any man in this hall has other matters to set before his grace, let him speak now or go forth and hold his silence. Sansa quailed. Now, she told herself, I must do it now. Gods, give me courage. She took one step, then another. Lords and knights stepped aside silently to let her pass, and she felt the weight of their eyes on her. I must be as strong as my lady mother. Your Grace, she called out in a soft, tremulous voice. The height of the Iron Throne gave Joffrey a better vantage point than anyone else in the hall. Turn to see her. Come forward, my lady, he called out, smiling. His smile emboldened her. It made her feel beautiful and strong. He does love me, he does. Sansa lifted her head and walked toward him, not too slow and not too fast. She must not let him see how nervous she was. The Lady Sansa of House Stark, the herald cried. She stopped under the throne, at the spot where Sir Barristan's white cloak lay puddled on the floor beside his helm and breastplate. Do you have some business for king and council, Sansa? The queen asked from the council table. I do. She knelt on the cloak so as not to spoil her gown, and looked up at her prince on his fearsome black throne. As it please your grace, I ask mercy for my father, Lord Eddard Stark, who was hand of the king. She had practiced the words 100 times. The queen sighed. Sansa, you disappoint me. What did I tell you about traitor's blood? Your father has committed grave and terrible crimes, my lady, Grand Maester Pycelle intoned. Ah, poor sad thing, sighed Varys. She is only a babe, my lords. She does not know what she asks. Sansa had eyes only for Joffrey. He must listen to me. He must, she thought. The king shifted on his seat. Let her speak, he commanded. I want to hear what she said.
Are they shooting pox at you guys?
Thank you, your grace. Sansa smiled, a shy, secret smile just
Want me
for him.
to-
He was listening. She knew he would. Treason is an
Dude, I don't know what's
obvious
going on, bro.
weakness,
I was just walking down the road and all of a sudden shots start getting fired. There's a guy sitting behind this building over here. I'm not sure if it's my people attacking the PD. I'm not sure what's going on, man. So I'm just like, sitting back
No,
watching.
my lords. Sansa knew better than that.
Fair.
I know he must be punished.
Alright.
All I ask is
You guys
mercy.
need any help out?
I know my lord father must regret what he did. He was King Robert's friend, and he loved him. You all know he loved him. He never wanted to. Then who lied to him? Your friend or Lord Stannis or somebody. They must have lied, otherwise... King Joffrey leaned forward, his grasping on the throne. Broken sword stand out from his fingers. He said I wasn't the king. Why did he say that? His leg was broken, Sansa replied eagerly. It hurt ever so much. Maester Pycelle was giving him milk of the poppy, and they say that once you filled your head with milk. That's pathetic, Varys said. Please, let me keep it. This mouth of babes. Treason is. Joffrey rocked restlessly on the throne. Mother? Cersei Lannister considered Sansa thoughtfully.
If Lord Eddard were to confess